Hi everybody, and welcome back to Bass Chops for Beginners. My name is Jose Cruz, and I'm just so thrilled that you're joining me here once again. I want to give a special thank you so much to all the new subscribers that are jumping on board and commenting and leaving their thoughts on the comment section there. It's really interesting to hear and to read where you guys are in your journey. And so, which brings me to the purpose of this channel. I'm not here to teach you how to develop your bass chops, because first thing that needs to happen before you develop your bass chops, you got to get the bass guitar, right? And so whether it's your very first one, your second one, your third one, that's where the bulk of the content is centered on, okay? It's admittedly, it's my biased opinion on stuff that I think you should have right off the bat, without any kind of false pretense. It's not the end-all be-all. It's basically what I know works for most general applications. You may be out there and you may discover something completely different that I have not mentioned, and that's perfectly fine. Again, this is my biased opinion on the stuff that I'm recommending for you, okay? And so if you are here for the first time and you really like this content, don't forget to subscribe, okay? And hit that notification bell, right? That way you get the a notice that something's new and you can come back here and get the latest information on the topic. I really do appreciate that. And as I mentioned in all my videos, if you happen to be here for your very first time and you really need to start at the very beginning, well, check out this video here. This is where it all begins, okay? If this price category, which we're still in, it's between the $300 to $500 price range, if that's out of where you are right now, and being able to purchase another your brand new instrument or another instrument, there is another series that I started where the price is from like $300 on down, and it's these three videos here. Check those out, okay? So today I'm going to talk about just one manufacturer, okay? And again, it's a manufacturer that you heard me talk about many times before, but today, because of the amount of choices that you have within that one manufacturer, I'm just going to dedicate this episode to one, and that's Ibanez. And yeah, I'm very partial to Ibanez because there's two basses right there. I own a 6-string electric that you've heard in other songs on this channel that you've heard me either perform with or do cover songs with. And so Ibanez is really huge in my life because they make something that's very well made and it's affordable and it lasts. These two guitars here are each one, they're about 25 years old. And I do use them. They have been working basses, not right now currently, but they are totally suited and ready to go for the next thing that I need them for. Right now I use them to record stuff here, okay? And so that's Ibanez. So today, Ibanez, we're going to talk about 5 guitars, okay? 4 of them are pretty similar, and then one of them actually clocks in at the very ceiling of the price range, so it's right at $500. But the first one that we're going to talk about here is the Ibanez SR300E in muted burst, okay? The reason why I select these is because they have a unique look to them. The finishes, if you ever get a chance to go to the store and look at them, you're going to see why I'm partial to them. They're very well made. They're beautiful. They didn't cut any corners on the finish. And that one right there is absolutely stunning to look at and to play and to hold in your hands, okay? As with most of the stuff that they make in that product line. The next one is the SR370E in sapphire blue. I'm kind of partial to the blue, although I have one guitar that's like in a turquoise color, but it's not made by Ibanez, it's my Spectre. But I do like what they're doing lately with these colors at Ibanez, and that's really stunning. I mean, they really do a nice job. The next one, and I really like this because it's a complete departure finish-wise from what we've seen thus far, and that is the SR300EB. EB in weathered black. You've heard me talk about the Thunderbird, okay? It's got that matte finish on it. Other guitars have matte finishes, and to me, it's just as striking as the high gloss stuff because look at that thing. It's just cool. It is so cool. I wouldn't mind owning one, just like that one. Hint, hint. to my wife. She might let me have another guitar. Maybe. And then rather than talking about 5 guitars, I'm just going to keep it down to 4 guitars. The very last one, which is again in the upper part of that price category, is the TMB 500 Talman. You've seen this guitar before. It doesn't make an appearance quite that much out in the industry, but definitely if you are into the retro look, retro controls, what I really am just struck about this instrument is that they really, you know how in other episodes I talked about modifying your bass and adding things to hot rod it even more? Well, this guitar has that stuff already added, and right off the assembly line, it comes with the pickups that you see on there. And I believe that what they're putting on the Talman these days are the highly sought after, highly rated Nordstrand pickups. And the electronics are second to none. I believe the bridge on there is pretty beefy as well. But yeah, definitely that retro look. It's got that switch on there that's totally screams, classic 60s, and the shape of the body certainly reflects that as well. And so, yeah, Talman, popular with a segment of bass players out there, but definitely it's something to look at. Just because of the way it's constructed, it's worth the money. And the very last thing I want to talk about with all of these guitars is that when you look at the price, that is the price for the instrument. And you've heard me talk about cases in the past, and that some of them are just the regular, really thin plywood construction with the outer Tolex covering. Well, Ibanez has one of those as well, but they actually make a really nice ABS plastic. The one that they're recommending for all of these guitars, because they have basically a similar shape to one another, and that is the Ibanez brand MB300C. They categorize it as a hard shell bass case in black and red interior, and I have a photograph of it here of what it looks like on the inside as well as on the out. So you've heard me say this before, that you may be enjoying better economic opportunity, and you may have more resources to be able to dedicate towards your very first instrument, or for some of you this is your second or third instrument, and you can spend a little bit more cash on that just as an upgrade feature. And so these are perfect examples, and they all reside within the same Ibanez line. And so there you have it. Hey, do me a favor. Follow me on Instagram, right? And also, if become a fan of this page on Facebook, okay? And there's the address for that as well. Do something really cool. Talk to me about what you've got your eye on, okay? I may have experience with it. I don't do A-B comparisons here because that whole thing is really subjective. When you hear my guitars on these videos, I'm running them through a SansAmp preamp there, okay? And then I'm recording it into my software, and then there's a lot of effects that I add on to compression, so on and so forth, dynamics. That's not really fair to you guys when you're trying to evaluate whether to buy the guitar or not. I always recommend that you go to the store and do that, and let your ears and your hands, you can hear it and how it feels to you, because it's going to be your instrument that you play. Okay, it's not me. That's the reason why you don't. It's just I'm giving you my biased opinion on stuff that I think is cool. If you think it's cool, great. Everybody wins. All right. So there you have it. Do something really creative. Let me know what's going on with your pursuit. And again, you need to start somewhere, and this is a perfect place to start. So remember, tune it or die.